of the research is workplace spirituality, a case of academics at state sector universities in Sri Lanka. A very interesting topic. So that is going to be presented by BS Galdolage, HPS Gallage, and DT Rathnayake from Department of Marketing Management, University of Sri Jayawardenepura. Okay, this is your time.
Senior Professor HHD and Peopatha, Session of the Chair, Dean of the Faculty, presenters, ladies and gentlemen. Let me to take you through a special theme called spirituality. Today's my topic is workplace spirituality, case of academics at state sector universities. So this is the content of my presentation. Background of the research, purpose and objectives, literature review, methodology, validation of the measurement scales, data analysis and findings, and finally, discussion and recommendations. The background of the study. Workplace spirituality is being considered as an important yet less explored topic related to the organizational context. This is a very special topic. This is related to the spiritual aspect of the people. We know that organizations are considering about motivating people by rewarding them with monetary factors or some other physical rewards. But we thought of finding out something which is different from normal perspective or normal consideration of the organizational managers. That is the spiritual aspect of people. However, it is really important for workplace performance, commitment, and loyalty. And very importantly, employees work in a dispirited workplace manifest themselves in various work troubles such as low morale, rise of absenteeism, high turnover, burnout, and etc. And when it comes to the background of the study, we thought of selecting this particular topic because there were certain criticisms against state sector universities in in recent past. So we thought of finding out what are the reasons for that, or whether there is something true behind that criticisms. That is why we selected state sector universities for our research. And the main objective of our study is to examine the level of workplace spirituality of academics in the state sector universities. Several scholars have defined workplace spirituality in different ways. It can be defined as the recognition that employees have an inner life which nourishes and is nourished by meaningful work taking place in the context of community. That means if the person is having a sense of doing something meaningful to the society, if a person feels that I'm doing something for the betterment of the society, that is what you call the workplace spirituality in the working life. And the methodology of the research, this study was descriptive in nature and it was a cross-sectional research design. Unit of analysis was individual academic, and our sample consisted of 150 individual academics selected from state sector universities in Sri Lanka. And the data was collected by using a self-administered questionnaire which has a Likert scale questions in order to measure the workplace spirituality. When it comes to the operationalization of the concept, we basically identified 5 major dimensions of the workplace spirituality, namely team's sense of community, alignment between organizational and individual values, sense of contribution to the community, sense of enjoyment at work, and finally, opportunities for the inner life. Then, validity of measurement scales. We ensured the internal consistency of the data by using Cronbach alpha. The standard value is 0.7. And in order to make sure that content validity is there in our study, we had a rigorous literature review. And when it comes to the reliability statistics, 3 dimensions were having more than two indicators. Therefore, we calculated alpha values, and all respective alpha values were higher than 0.7. And there were 2 dimensions which were having only 2 indicators per each, and for that we calculated Pearson correlation, and the correlation coefficient was higher, so that you can make sure that internal consistency is there. And in validation of the data set, factor loading was used to validate the data set, and for 3 dimensions which were having more than 2 indicators, the KMO value, the total KMO value was 0.713. It means that sample is adequate, and the all chi-square values were significant, and the average variance extracted was greater than 0.5, so that we can ensure that validity is there. When it comes to the data analysis and findings, we used a decision criteria. All the responses were categorized into 3 categories, namely high, moderate, and low. As far as we concerned the first dimension, team sense of community, we found that majority of the state sector universities are having a positive team sense of community. The percentage is 66%, and since the data became ordinal scale, we use one sample case test in order to test the significance. Then when it comes to the second dimension, alignment between organizational and individual values, up to which extent there is an alignment between organizational value, that means the values practiced in the university, and the personal values of academics. And there was a moderate level of alignment between organizational and individual values. When it comes to the analysis, 58% of the academics have moderate feelings about the match between the organizational and individual values. Then sense of contribution to the community, up to which extent they feel that they are contributing to the development or the betterment of the society. And that is same, most of the academics are having the sense of contribution to the community. They think that they are contributing to the development of the society. Almost 66% of the academics are having high level of sense of contribution to the community. Then sense of enjoyment at work. Again, the majority, that means 75% of the academics are having a high sense of enjoyment at work. And opportunities for the inner life. Again, the 50%, half of the sample had the idea that there is a moderate level of opportunities for the inner life development for them. Discussion and recommendations. So in summary, we identified that workplace spirituality has a major role to play with the academics' inner life. They search for meaningful work in the context of community. The academics' sense of being connected to others provides a positive feeling about their work of completeness and joy. Very especially, we had some informal discussion with several academics. They had a different idea. They thought that we know that we are contributing to the society because we are generating knowledge, and we are trying to disseminate the knowledge. But there are some barriers for that. It was their idea because there are several administrative issues in the university, or there are some other organizational factors which can be concerned as barriers for the inner life development. And our dimensions represent spiritual traits of the workplace climates. Therefore, it is important to consider creating more comfortable work climate by building empathetic leadership, since most of the academics do not see an alignment between organization and their values. It is very important because we wish to extend this research in order to measure the impact of workplace spirituality on organizational commitment. So according to the literature, we found that there is a huge impact, or there is a relationship between the spirituality of the people, spiritual values of the people, and the organizational commitment and the performance, job performance. Because unless the person is not spiritually developed, spiritually well feeded with good qualities and values, he will not be able to perform as per the requirement of the organization. Or else, if the organization does not have a better climate for a person to be developed spiritually, then the person will not be committed towards achieving organizational objectives. So further, most of the academics think that they have a little opportunity for inner life, which should be considered in academic development programs and in their day-to-day activities. Very especially, again, there was an idea given by the academics that most of the academics in several universities are struggling with administrative works. Therefore, there are less rooms for them to be developed, to develop their inner lives or inner feelings and values. So that is about the discussion and recommendation. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Rathnayake. Any questions? Clarifications? Yes, Professor Neville.
Developing, measuring the validation properties. Now you have calculated the convergent validity and even the reliability and so on. What about the discriminant validity? So even though you have mentioned that you have estimated the discriminant validity, that procedure was not explained. So better to incorporate that particular part to your research. I think it would be better. So now you have indicated that you have measured the discriminant validity, but no measurements have been done.
Yes, in line with the comments given by Professor Neville, basically you have done a good job. So I really appreciate that. When it comes to validity, discriminant validity, at least you could have dealt with the content validity by using rational approach. Content validity, which is a must. Maybe we can excuse if you have not dealt with discriminant validity, but there's no excuse, if you have not dealt with content validity. The other thing is you have mentioned about the internal aspect of reliability by using the Gallage alpha. Then what about external aspect of reliability? Gallage alpha deals with only inter-item reliability, but it doesn't deal with the external aspect of reliability, which means the extent to which the instrument produces consistent results at least 2 different times over the time, not across the items of the measurement itself, but over the time. Because this is about spirituality. It's a very abstract concept. We may have 10 people may have 10 different definitions. So therefore, I am not clear about your working definition. What is really the working definition out of the nominal definitions, maybe 10 nominal definitions given by others. Then what about the items? So what are the items that you have used to measure the instrument of the spirituality?
Yes, we develop indicators.
Yeah.
Yes.
So values and those things, okay, fine. I got something. But basically, there are 3 V's, when it comes to spirituality. 3 V's. One is vices, the other one is virtues, the other one is values. So if you did not consider virtues, then also the vices. Because the values, okay, if you consider only values and the virtues are more important than values, even though many people are not clear about that. So virtues such as honesty, benevolence, humility, benediction, tolerance, patience. So they are more important than individual values. Values make it differed from nation to nation, from religion to religion. But the virtues, will not get differed. They are absolute moral qualities. Then whatever vices, So anyway, I think that as a young researcher, I expect that, it seems that, you are a promising researcher. So I wish you all the best. Any other questions?
To add Professor Opatha, now internal consistency has been measured okay, but as Professor Opatha suggested, measure the stability also. Stability, for that you have to perform the test, retest reliability.
Yes,
R value should be taken. That is what he suggested. Okay, I congratulate you for your wonderful presentation. Thank you.
So wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.